system. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right, let's go over it. Let's look. Uh, I got pretty screwed over by not being allowed to pick up that bullet after picking up the food. That cost me like 8 seconds. Because normally, right, you pick that up. Because then I had to do an extra cycle in the Tomura boss fight after that. So that was really rough. How much time did I lose in that split compared to my gold? 12. Wow. Yeah, that segment lost 12 seconds compared to my best. Because the skip was really slow, and I didn't get the bullet, so I had to do an extra cycle. Which is not awful, because that means, right, that later I can, like in the Wendy split, I was allowed to skip picking up the bullet that you get right after the cave, right? And in the Scissors Girl split, I skipped picking up the bullet on the ground outside, or like while the water's rising. I normally pick up the bullet on the turn, but I didn't pick it up because I didn't need to. So like, because I left the Tomura boss fight with some extra bullets, I could just like avoid needing to pick up more later. But I did definitely lose 12 seconds in that split. And like, definitely that does mess up my Summer Best a little bit. Because now they're split for like, I was able to make decisions that allowed me to go faster than I would normally. Because of a slow thing early that made the later part like maybe like half a second faster. So that gold is now like better than it would be under normal circumstances, but I don't really think that's a huge deal. Um, Summer Best under 31 minutes is pretty hype. Definitely, I think sub 31 is possible. Sub 30, probably not. I think sub 30 would be like the dream time for this category. I don't know what would need to happen for that to be possible. Like, I feel like some sort of like major skip would need to be found for sub 30 to be possible, and it would need to save like 30 seconds, if not more, for sub 30 to be possible. Maybe one day, but right now, that does not feel feasible. Sub 31 is right now, I think, difficult but doable. Like, very difficult, but completely doable with like a really good run. Because like my golds are definitely still unoptimized. I still think I have like another like 30 seconds I could take off my golds. And I think that like I do think that pretty reasonably, on average, a good run in this game is like 30 seconds off your summer best. Like a really good run is like 30 seconds off. At least for me, right? Every time I get a new PB or world record or whatever, it's like 30 seconds off my summer best. Um, I don't know. The thing about the sub 30, right? Is that like I said I think you would have to find a skip that saves like 30 seconds or more to make that possible. But I don't even know what that would look like. Like I don't even know what in this game you could skip, right? Maybe there are like more minor optimizations around to be found. Like I mean recently I found in like the most recent world record or the like either the last world record before this one or the one before that, I found that like when you kill the chainsaw guy, you can pick up his key card with Q, or like the drag button, like the drag button. You can pick it up with that, and then that saves like 5-10 seconds probably from needing to go back all the way across the hallway and then back to the door. You can just like pick it up, especially if you pick it up while it like when it first drops, it's like standing upright and then it falls over. you can't pick it up after it falls over because there's like a little divot on the ground that it'll fall behind. Like the little metal rail that the bookcases move on. It's behind that, so you can't pick it up when it's falling down. But definitely, if you pick it up before it falls over, you could save a lot of time. Like that saves like 10, 15 seconds, I think. Because you could stand super close to the door, kill it, pick up the card with Q, and then go. I might practice that actually. I think definitely I need to work on that. Tomura was just unfortunate. Also, this is my first ever sub 4 exit of the school segment. This early game was insane. I think these were both golds. Yeah, those first two splits were both golds, which is really funny because my last two PBs were like really bad early games and then really good late games relative to what my previous runs were before that, right? Like obviously my late games have gotten even better since then, but like for like relative to what I had done before that, right? They were bad early games, but good late games, right? This was an insane early game. 220 intro is absurd. I think Schmumbler's best run has that at like 216, but I know that the intro segment is like where most of the big loads happen, and I know that I'm loading a fair bit slower, like 10 seconds over the course of the run behind Schmumbler, which like not an excuse or anything for his runs being better than mine in some ways, which I still think they are. It's something that his runs are better than. I still think that their runs are better than mine in some ways. Um, and definitely I'm looking for those and seeing those optimizations, being like, okay, what can I do better? Um, but definitely right, like I think 220 is about the like I think 219 or 218 is like the limit of what I could get for a gold there. With like the text skips in this one were a little rough. Normally, what I do to mash text during the Tomoro cutscene in the car is I'll just like mash my left click on my mouse. But what I did on this run was I put my mouse on my knee, held it with my left hand, and then mashed with my right hand index finger, and then that let me mash a lot faster than I could before. So that'll help me save a lot of time in that cutscene. Just generally be more consistent. Um, elevator segment is finicky as ever. I think I'm getting more consistent with getting the rotating cube into the right position quickly than I was before. Wendy split was good. Journal split was pretty good. Just some unfortunate RNG. Scissors Girl was really good. Really, really good. Prison, really good. Prison was a gold, right? No, it was actually behind the gold. Okay. Sky was insane. Sky split was crazy. Leave tightrope. I was not. I when I fell off that tightrope and I was like, I was so not sure whether I would respawn on the next part of the tightrope segment. I was like, oh god, this run is dead. After all this, the run dies here, and then I respawned on the platform. I was like, oh, okay. Definitely like a couple more seconds to save there, just to like better tightrope movement, which I think I've gotten a lot better at recently. Um, I'm pretty consistently like able to turn on the tightrope without stopping. I think that's all I had to say. I did not expect to talk for 10 minutes after this run was over, but I guess I have a lot to say about this run and where I think the category is going forwards. Again, I definitely think sub 31 is possible. 31-30, or sorry, sub 30-30, hard, extremely hard. Probably the current limit of what I think is possible in my head is sub 30-30. Sub 30, I don't think is possible without more knowledge. I think you could grind this category for 1,000 hours, and I don't know if you could get sub 30 with current knowledge. I could be wrong, though. I could be totally wrong. Maybe movement is still super unoptimized. Maybe there's still a lot more to do. I don't know. Bye-bye.